War doesn't always begin when swords clash on the battlefield. More often, it starts long before that, through quiet decisions, calculated strategies, and hidden moves that can reshape the outcome of an entire conflict. The coming Battle of Tumbleton is unfolding in exactly that way. On the surface, it appears that both sides are simply waiting for the inevitable confrontation. In reality, however, every passing moment is creating new strategies, fresh conspiracies, and even greater dangers. At this point in the story, an army of nearly 40,000 men, led by Oscar Tully and Roderick Dustin, is marching through the Riverlands towards Tumbleton. On the opposite side, Aemond Hightower finds himself heavily outnumbered, yet instead of retreating, he chooses to rely on intelligence rather than numbers. He has already ordered vast quantities of timber to be stockpiled throughout the town. At first glance, it appears to be a defensive measure. But when you look more closely, it becomes clear that the timber is actually part of a far more dangerous trap. If Rhaenyra launches an attack using her dragons, those stacks of dry timber could turn the entire town into an inferno within minutes. The flames would not only consume soldiers but also countless innocent civilians. Even if Rhaenyra won the battle, she could lose the political war, as the deaths of so many innocent people would likely turn numerous lords against her. On the other hand, refusing to use her dragons would force her into a conventional siege against an enemy that has already secured a strong defensive position. This is precisely what makes Aemond such a dangerous and intelligent commander. He has created a situation in which every possible choice comes at a heavy cost. Meanwhile, Ser Criston Cole is far from idle. Although his army is vastly outnumbered, he has no intention of fighting a direct battle. Instead, he has adopted a strategy of guerrilla warfare. Burning bridges, blocking key routes, and disrupting supply lines are all part of his plan. His objective is simple: slow the enemy's advance and buy as much time as possible before they reach Tumbleton. In response, Oscar Tully sends his fastest riders along an alternative route, but the decision comes with a significant consequence. The diversion delays the entire army by almost a full week. In war, a single week's delay can be the difference between victory and defeat. At the same time, another fascinating development is unfolding at Harrenhal. Rhaenyra has announced that anyone who captures Aemond Targaryen will be rewarded with ownership of the Great Castle itself. Unsurprisingly, many are now making their way towards Harrenhal. But one person is already there: Alyce Rivers. Alyce is far more than an ordinary woman. She is one of the most mysterious figures in the story, surrounded by rumors and legends. Some believe she is a witch, while others suspect she has blood ties to House Strong. If those rumors are true, Harrenhal is much more than a fortress to her. It represents her family, her past, and perhaps even her identity. That may explain why she appears determined to keep control of the castle, no matter the cost. Another major theme emerging from the series is that wars are no longer fought solely with armies. They are fought with information. Spies are everywhere. Every movement is being watched, every conversation carries weight, and even the smallest piece of intelligence has the potential to change the course of the war. In this conflict, information has become every bit as valuable as military strength. Conditions inside King's Landing are equally unstable. The people are restless, rumors continue to spread through the streets, and rival factions are quietly strengthening their own positions behind the scenes. In an atmosphere like this, characters such as Mysaria become increasingly influential. Unlike many others, she understands that secrets can be more powerful than swords. A single decision or even her silence could dramatically influence the future of the realm. At the same time, Rhaenyra faces another challenge. She is not only fighting her enemies but also struggling to maintain the trust and loyalty of those around her. As the war drags on, divisions within her own camp continue to grow. History has often shown that internal conflict can be even more dangerous than the enemy waiting outside the gates. The Battle of Tumbleton will not simply be a clash of dragons and armies. It will be a contest of intelligence, patience, psychological pressure, and political strategy. Every player is making their move, and every decision could shape the outcome of the war. Now, one question remains. Will Rhaenyra and her allies find a way to outmaneuver Aemond Hightower's deadly strategy? Or will Tumbleton become the sea of fire that changes the history of Westeros forever?